Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest on the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, so today I have Joe Downs on the line, and he's CEO and co-founder over at Belrose Storage and StorageMoguls.ai. Joe, welcome to the show.
Adam, pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Oh, man, I'm excited to have you on. I've been waiting for this one. So we're going to get into self-storage as an asset class and finding opportunity. So a lot of business owners, a lot of investors, executives listen to this. So excited to get into that. And then, of course, I know you launched a StorageMoguls.ai, so how you're teaching others. So I want to get into that as well. But before we get into those, how'd you get into storage, man? Where did that start?
Wow, my life's been a series of reinventions, and I'll keep it brief, but I've had to reinvent a few times just because the economy or life just throws you curveballs, right? And so I have a distressed debt company as well, and banks stopped selling. I won't get into the weeds, but there was the CFPB put some restrictions on banks, and they stopped selling for 3 years. So I had to figure out something else to do. I got an email that was intriguing. I knew nothing about storage. Never rented a unit. Never needed.
What year was this roughly? Just roughly, what year was this?
Yeah, I want to say it was like 2017.
Oh, okay, so that's a while ago. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got the email. I bought the home study course, and I was just really intrigued by it. I went to a 3-day seminar about it. I couldn't sleep that night, and I knew that was a direction I was headed. And it took me a little while to get to the seminar. Admittedly, I wish I had that back. I wish I went right away, but I didn't. I waited about a year, so I didn't go there until about 2018. And then, so I've been in the business since about 2018.
Okay, you couldn't sleep, and I know you were looking for an opportunity, but lots of things you could have done with your background, with your education. What was so attractive to you, if you can remember back then, about storage, and what was like, you couldn't get it out of your head, you had to do it?
It started with the email, and then it was confirmed at the seminars. At the time, 80% of all self-storage facilities in the United States were owned by mom and pop, non-institutional. And literally, when I say mom and pop, if you're picturing a 75 or 80-year-old, that's exactly who we buy from.
Wow.
That number is probably closer to 70% today, but it's still the lion's share of
still
the
massive.
industry.
That's still massive.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so that was one of them. The other was storage as a business. So I had a background in commercial real estate, raising a lot of money for multifamily and office buildings. That was part of that goes back even further, and part of another reinvention I had to do after the 2008 financial crisis. And that led me to distressed debt. But because of that background, I was intrigued by the fact that this was commercial real estate, but also a business. And one of the fears I had coming into it was, look, I've raised money for commercial real estate, but I've never been the guy, right? Sourcing the deals, evaluating, underwriting, right? And they're offering to teach us all these new skills. But in the back of my head, I'm going, who's going to lend me $1 million or $2 million to buy these things, right? When you look at Joe Downs, what says, yeah, lend this guy $1 million? And these are the thoughts that go through your head. Right?
That's good. No, it's fair. I like it because it's self-aware. Some other people be like, yeah, of course they're going to. And you're like, what? Why? At least I like your starting point. Go ahead, please.
but enter the SBA because it's a business, right? Mm-hmm. So the SBA is one of the primary lenders for self-storage facilities under a certain size, right? So you have it's like a demarcation line in the business where I'll call it north of $2 to $3 million in acquisition versus south of there, or if you say square feet, and they go hand in hand, depends on where the facility is. But let's say 30,000 square feet, $3 million. I know people are trying to draw a direct line between the two right now. Don't make that mistake. There's a lot of gray area there. But the smaller deals, there's less institutions going after them. And there's more of an ability to finance them either using SBA or seller financing. So the whole industry just opens up to the first timer, the person looking for something other than their 9-to-5 job that wants to get in real estate, or be surprised. We got a lot of single family real estate investors or small multifamily that are just tired of the tenants and the 2 a.m. headaches and just the turnover of residential real estate. And they migrate towards self-storage. And a lot of people don't realize it is either a place to migrate to, or if you've never been in real estate of any kind, it's not as daunting as you think. Everybody thinks the first thought is, and by the way, guilty is charged right here in saying this, single family flips, rentals, that's what we all know because there's TV shows
Mm-hmm.
about it and we live in them, right? And we've probably all rented before at some point in our life before we bought.
Right.
So it's the easy layup go-to, but it doesn't have to be and it's fraught with headaches. Look, we all need places to live. I'm not knocking that asset
Sure.
class. It's just not one I want to buy and operate anymore. Not when there's a blue ocean of small self-storage facilities out there that are just so much easier to manage and grow value in just by growing your NOI, your net operating income, which is a fancy way of saying, for those who aren't sure, it's just your income, your revenue less your expenses.
So you've created, I'm using this word if you want to correct me, and if you call it something different, great. But from what I can see, you've created this ecosystem. So with Belrose Storage, you've worked with investors directly and guided some passive investors in owning a storage facility. And now you've also added to your tool belt, so to speak, or your ecosystem, storagemoguls.ai. Can you talk about your vision for the overall platform and how this developed?
You're giving me way more credit when you say my vision. There was no vision to start storagemoguls.ai when we were starting Belrose Storage. We were just trying to put one foot in front of the other and get one deal, and that was exciting, then another, and we made a lot of mistakes along the way, and we learned from them. And then later, we were part of a training program, mentorship program, mastermind, and we were tapped, because we were pretty successful, actually. We were tapped to come in and help with the newer students of that program, and we realized that there was a better way to teach it. So we started to do that and develop our own. And the program we were a part of just expanded. And so we said, you know what, there's even more we can do if we just put our own stamp on it. And on top of that, along the way, you just never know where life's going to lead you. Along the way, I started really leaning into AI. And I was in an AI mastermind, and then I started my own podcast helping entrepreneurs with AI with an AI guru out of England. And just what I was learning with AI and learning how we could infuse that into not only how do we source and find and evaluate these self-storage facilities, but also teach it. So everything we're doing is support. It's not replaced by AI. It's just supported by AI. So that's why the name storagemoguls.ai. It's literally just to let everybody know, hey, this isn't just another old tired guru type of, we're going to teach you how to do this and whatever bad image you have in your head of that, and I have plenty of them. We're trying to proudly and promote, look, this is different, this is new. We're not only teaching people based on all the mistakes we made, and successes, obviously a lot of them, but it's in the new world, right? There's a lot of new tools and new ways to consume information, and that's why we put the .ai at the end instead of .com.
Yeah, what do you like about teaching and about getting this content out there? Because now you've worked with a lot of people. What do you like about that component of it?
You know what? One day I'll figure it out. I know I just like it. I enjoy giving back. I've always been someone that likes to show others how to do things based on the mistake. I guess I'd like to make mistakes first and then teach others later. But
I have a friend like you. They take all the arrows in the back and they're going off. They're exploring. They do all these other things, and they try to get me into it. I'm like, yeah, you probably need a couple more arrows, this, that, whatever. You're almost figuring it out. You'll almost be done with the pain, and then I'm in.
Yeah, right.
I have a good buddy. I know that's a really bad way to say it on the other side, but you remind me of him already.
Guilty as charged.
But you can't help yourself. You have to go and do that next thing. You have to go try. You just have to. You can't help yourself from what I can tell.
And the weird thing that's happened too, Adam, is because I'm talking to students all the time, I get more excited for when my students close their first deal than when we close deal number 24.
Yeah.
What's on to the next? I'm so much more excited about someone's first deal than I am a 20-something deal. It's just, I don't know. It's fulfilling. I don't know that I'm the sharpest guy you'll ever meet. Slow in the uptake, I guess. That's why I got so many arrows in the back. But I just enjoy it. We love it. And we got a great team. I don't think there's a better team in the country at people from 0 to 1 facilities than the team I have with. There's 5 of us that started storagemoguls.ai, and we cover the complete cycle from sourcing, evaluating, underwriting, negotiating, transitioning, closing, and managing.
I want to take these kind of separately here. So for Belrose Storage, like who's typically a good fit to work with your team there? And then on the other side, let's talk about storagemoguls.ai and who's normally a good fit for that program. But I want to kind of treat them separately, unless they're the same person. I don't know. You tell me.
No, they could be. Sometimes they are. It says Belrose Storage Group. We're going out and buying value-add storage facilities, the same thing we're teaching our students to do. We're just also doing it ourselves. And we're the ones doing it. So we're the operators. We're doing all the heavy lifting and the hard work. And so who finds their way to us is folks that they just want to write checks. They want to be passive investors. They want to invest in real estate. They're looking for double-digit returns in real estate with tax benefits. And so they'll get on our investor list, and we'll put deals out in front of them. And if it works for them, they'll invest. The StorageMoguls.ai is more for the hands-on, the doer, the person that wants to do it without taking so many errors, and who wants me to stand in the way of those errors for them. And you know what we say? We teach people how to buy their first deal in a way. It's like bowling with bumper rails. Right? In fact, we do more.
I like yours way better than mine. Your analogy is way better. Bowling with bumper, that's so much better. Go ahead.
So we're teaching people how to buy deals without making the mistakes. In fact, we do more of talking people out of deals they fall in love with that are not deals, that are going to put a serious hurt on them a year or 2 years down the line. We talk them out of deals more so than we help them into deals. And that doesn't sound like a great promotion, but it's really true because it's easy to find quote unquote deals. The question is, are they deals, right? And there's a lot of them that look like deals that just aren't deals. So we spend more time in our teaching, which is great for the education part of it too.
Absolutely, yeah.
Showing them why that's not a deal and get back to work and find another one. And you'll know when it's a deal because, A, we'll be excited about it for you. And that's just part of the process. But it's the fun part of the process.
Yeah.
That was not fun to because it's funny. I'm guilty as well. Everything we teach, we've been through. Every feeling someone has, I've already had. It's not fun to see the disappointment in somebody's eyes, but it's ever so much more fun when they say, now I understand why when they're closing that first deal. You're right. This is a deal. Yeah, got it now.
How about, I'm just curious, geographies? Is there any particular geographies versus others that you're looking at, just like in the market right now? And I'll timestamp just for it's June 24th, 2026 when we're recording this, but just in general, geographies.
Yeah, so wherever the populations are moving to. So generally speaking, large part where we look is the Southeast. It's where most of our marketing is concentrated. Why the Southeast? Because I'm located outside of Philadelphia. If I was located in Phoenix, I would be telling you the Southwest. And it's just purely where we are. That said, we own in Minnesota, we own in the Midwest, we own in the Northeast. Most of ours have been in the Southeast and the Carolinas and Georgia and Florida and stuff. Where our students, it's all over the country. So there's great markets everywhere and there's bad markets everywhere. A market is, if I could simplify it, it's a 15-minute drive time. We measure it in 3 and 5 miles or 10 to 15 minutes of drive time. But in the same metro market or secondary, tertiary market, you can have multiple great markets and multiple bad markets. And there's different reasons that make them good or bad. And it's not the people necessarily. It might be the number of people. But so it's hard for me to say that the Southeast is better than the Northeast. It's hard because I can find deals in the Northeast.
Absolutely.
Just in general, the population in general is moving to the Southeast. So we're playing the odds there. Or the Southwest. Sorry, if you're listening on the West Coast.
Yeah.
And by the way, Midwest is actually a major growth factor. You look at Nashville, and you may not think Ohio or Kentucky, right? You may not think those are strong growth areas, but they are, and they're just turning the corner, and they're becoming strong growth areas, and they're strong economic areas, and the manufacturing's coming back to the United States. All of that matters. So it's just in general, where's the population moving to? That's likely where you're going to find strong storage markets. And remember, markets are defined by 3 to 5 mile or 10 to 15 minute drive times in that radius.
Yeah, that's great. Joe, this has been a lot of fun having you on, man. I really enjoyed our conversation. I'm sure our audience did as well. That being said, if somebody wants to learn more and they want to connect on either of the opportunities, whether it's Belrose Storage or StorageMoguls.ai, how do they do that?
Either way, you can get me directly. It's Joe at StorageMoguls.ai. And we also on Monday nights host a Storage 101 where we go over 10, 15 minutes. What is self-storage? Just a kind of beginner for everybody. And then we go into a topic and then we open it up for questions. StorageMoguls.ai. You can go there and register. If you want to take part, it's free. And that's honestly, it's the best place to learn about self-storage.
Fantastic. And for everybody listening, just so you know, we'll definitely put some links in the show notes so you can just click on the links and head right on over. And speaking of the audience, if this is your first time with Mission Matters and you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe or follow button. This is a daily show. You heard me correct. Each and every day, we're bringing you new content, new ideas, and hopefully new inspiration to help you along the way on your journey as well. So hit that subscribe or follow button. And Joe, thanks again for coming on the show.
And what a pleasure. Thanks for having me.